Welcome back to the Genius 180-day review video series. This section here is on the royalty receiver contract, and thank you for checking it out. All right, the Genius NFT royalty receiver, or the royalty receiver contract. This is where Genius shines, is that with Genius NFTs, new contracts are able to be introduced. New contracts that do benefit the ecosystem, new contracts that do give the Genius ecosystem extra revenue sources, which the whole reason why you want to use Genius with Genius mining, and the whole reason why you want Genius shares is because of the revenue, right? Now, if I have Genius shares or if I have Genius mining going on for, let's say, 6 years, right? I've committed to do 6 years. I want to receive that revenue, but I also want Genius as an ecosystem myself. I want it to be relevant in 6 years from now. I want it to be relevant in 5 years from now, 4 years. I want it to be relevant next year. So relevancy is a very important thing with cryptocurrencies, is that they stay relevant over time, that they stay used and useful. And this is why Ethereum has been majorly on top compared to Bitcoin, is because of relevancy. With Ethereum having the ability for other people to make new features constantly, that adds relevancy. And the Genius ecosystem itself, Genius NFTs allow that future relevancy without changing the underlying constitution. So, about this royalty receiver, I'm going to go through the slides here, and then I'm going to just really give you an idea of the purpose of this receiver. Well, why don't I start first? The purpose of this royalty receiver is people who buy Genius packs. I mean, I bought many. I bought many booster packs and ultimate packs because they have a slightly different probability of receiving more like rare Genius NFTs. But when people purchase Genius NFT packs, right, that payment goes to this royalty receiver, which properly distributes those payments to the Genius economy. And then next, there are royalty payments that are generated when people resell Genius NFTs. For example, on NFT marketplaces like Rarible, Openc, when someone buys your NFT from you, a portion of that sale, well, typically in the NFT world, a portion of that sale goes to the artist, or a portion of that sale goes to the developers. But here, a portion of the sale of Genius NFTs, a portion of that sale goes to the Genius economy. It doesn't go to the treasury beneficiary, no. It doesn't go to the developers of Genius, or the programmers, or the designers, or inventors. No, it goes to the Genius economy. So that's what the royalty receiver does. And to do this, the royalty receiver, it passively collects its payments, and there's a manager of the royalty receiver. And anyone can be a manager, by the way. But the person who runs the contract functions and manages them, they get revenue for doing that. So the Genius NFT, so the royalty receiver contract, it provides additional revenue opportunities for people who use the Genius smart contract. Excuse me, just I'm like practically about to cough here. And Genius advanced miners. Remember, when you have an advanced miner, you have advanced Genius shares, and by that policy, you earn extra revenue. The new revenue opportunities are, well, one of the opportunities pumps Genius, gives you a reward, gives you, the person who runs that function or presses that button, a reward of 16% of the Genius in the royalty receiver contract. So there's like this pool of Genius, there's this pool of collateral, native tokens, etc. So one of the revenue opportunities, you press a button, you get 16% of the Genius in there, and what it does is it pumps Genius. Well, it distributes some of that Genius to advanced miners as extra revenue, and it also burns indefinitely, forever, burns a portion of the supply of Genius. There's one that will pump the collateral vault. So you press this button, you pay the gas fee for it, you get 16% of the collateral. If the collateral is not worth the gas, this pool keeps growing until it is worth the gas. And what this does is ultimately this pumps the collateral vault, as in it will pump the redeem price for Genius, it will pump the issue rate for Genius Credit, and these are actions that the more the issue rate is pumped up and the redeem rate, you have the Genius market price, the open market price, maybe it's lagging behind and it's lower in value. That gives people that incentivizes people to buy from the open market to redeem that higher price. Makes sense? It's called arbitrage. There's also a pump everything button. And with this pump everything button, you get like 14.5% of all collateral in the pool. Now I wrote here not Genius collateral. I actually don't remember. So don't quote me on that. I think you're able to get 14.5% of every collateral that you specify in the pool. So inevitably, what the royalty receiver contract does, when people want Genius NFTs version 2 of the first edition, or Genius second edition NFTs, or any other Genius NFTs in the future, if people want them, they want to use them for their utility, when they acquire them with Genius itself or with collateral, etc., ultimately this pumps the market price by incentivizing traders. And these traders, they're incentivized to buy Genius and burn it. In return, they receive revenue. So buy and burn. Many people in the DeFi world, they're understanding the benefits of a, I guess you can say a neutral party, such as a smart contract, buying a token off the open market and then burning that token. It raises the price and puts the token out of circulation. That has many benefits with your supply and your demand. All right, so remember, these are new revenue opportunities for the smart contract users, basically anyone in the world who wants to use a smart contract, and people who are mining Genius. Advanced miners, though. In advanced mining, I think it's like 98% of all the mining that people do. So those are additional revenue opportunities, because remember, we have revenue opportunities already in the Genius world. So when I'm using the Genius dApp, I can check out these revenue opportunities. They're a little difficult to find today, but that's why many of us are using the GENI.best website, because that helps us find these revenue opportunities. Excuse me. One of them is on the performance page for the Genius app. The performance page, there's a summary button. And what this does is it pre-calculates all of the periodic earnings for miners. Basically, it saves people in the future a lot of gas. And also, when you run that function, you get a free Genius NFT. You get anywhere between 10,000 Genius and 1 million Genius. But in that regards, it has to be worth it. It has to be worth the gas fee. But then again, the Genius NFT, that can be a kicker for other people. That can be the thing that is really incentivizing, because you're guaranteed a Genius NFT. Many of the other actions in the Genius world, like when you're using the Genius contract, you have a chance, like you pay a little bit of extra gas to check if you have a chance to receive a Genius NFT. Okay, other current opportunities. So in review of current opportunities we have today as well, there's the release shares function. If someone forgets to release their shares after they're done, their commitment is done, if they don't do that, inevitably you can do that. And the longer they forget to release their shares, the greater the reward. Now, no one has done this yet, but there's another opportunity, shutdown miner. This is when, this isn't going to be available for maybe another 140 days, 150, 160 days. So in about 5 to 6 months from now, we're going to see our first forced shutdown, is what it's called. And a forced shutdown is something that happens when, somebody completely forgets about a miner, or somebody unfortunately loses their wallet, right? Like, you don't want that to happen, knock on some wood, but loses their wallet. Now, the miners, the Genius itself, you could say they're stuck forever. But what Shutdown Miner does is you get a reward of about a quarter of the entire miner by shutting it down, which can include releasing the shares, but by shutting the miner down, as in, or maybe the miner was not worth it for the person to finish, or not worth it for the person to stop ending mining. However, when their miner exhausted all of its rewards and exhausted its principal, that's going to take at least 275 days for a miner. 275 days after the miner was supposed to end. And so this is kind of like a cleanup incentive. The person who does the cleanup, which can be the owner of the miner, or it can be anybody else, gets about a quarter of the rewards and the principal that got exhausted. So they're able to recoup that. And as well, collateral vault arbitrage. When there is an arbitrage between the open market rate and the closed contract rate for the Genius smart contract, the collateral vault, the redeem rate, when there is an arbitrage or a great enough price difference between the open market and the Genius closed market, that arbitrage is an immediate revenue opportunity as well. And that revenue opportunity has been exercised multiple times. Now, keep in mind the release shares and the shutdown miner function. When this happens on miners that are Genius credit miners that were created with collateral, when anyone runs these release shares or shutdown miner functions, yes, that pumps the closed contract for Genius, the in contract liquidity, that pumps the redeem rate. So basically that makes a wider arbitrage gap between the open market and the Genius contract's closed market. So just a little tip on that. And Shutdown Miner does it drastically, does it majorly. If we have forced shutdowns for, God rest their soul, people who lose their wallets, or people who aren't paying attention and completely forget about Genius, their negative attention can turn into a very positive result on the Genius collateral vault, aka also a big opportunity for Genius's market price. Okay, so in summary, the prior video and this video went quite in depth over Genius NFTs, like new information that's out on that. Well, in summary, Genius NFTs, they're minted simply by using the Genius contract and a little bit of luck and paying a little bit of extra gas to mint it. So you do not have to buy a booster pack or an ultimate pack to get Genius NFTs. But keep in mind, when you're using the Genius smart contract, you're only going to mint the latest editions NFTs. You'll never mint editions from the past. So whatever edition is available today, there's you can't get those again in the future. So buying Genius NFT packs, in summary, that benefits the entire economy. Selling a Genius NFT or reselling a Genius NFT on one of the marketplaces, that also benefits the entire Genius economy. You get a free booster pack when version 2 launches. So now if you have the Genius first edition NFTs, you have version 1. To launch version 2, you get a free booster pack when you convert your version 1 to version 2. So if you don't have any version 1 Genius NFTs, buy them from the OpenSea marketplace or buy a pack now. But the pack you get will be a version 1 pack, not a version 2 pack. That's fine. When you convert it, you'll get your free booster pack. So if you don't have any Genius NFTs, a big takeaway here is get a Genius NFT. Buy one from the open market or buy a pack. ultimately, Genius NFTs accelerates Genius to phase 3 also. So not only do we have our current acceleration from user adoption and usage, but Genius NFTs amplifies that. But I put a little here because I said like you can also buy Genius packs, like a booster pack or an ultimate pack. Well, Genius NFT packs are currently set to the old price. Sorry, but yes, I have attempted letting the grantor know, hey, do this. By the way, it's the old price. People can buy Genius NFTs for a good chunk lower than the price before. I haven't seen the price change, haven't heard much on that, and I'm like, all right, cool. So right now, you can buy packs for under the regular Genius price. So that will help you get that free Genius NFT pack when you convert your version 1 Genius NFTs to version 2. And once again, to do that, turn on receive NFTs. More information about that is at geni.to/smart contract. That is the official link for the white paper. Always use that link. Don't use whatever link it lands on, such as, what's it called? It lands on a Google Docs right now. Don't use the Google Docs link. Don't share that with people. Share this link, geni.to/smart contract, because that white paper and that information does get updated and does change. To get that free Genius NFT pack, you can also buy from OpenSea, OpenSea.io, or Rarible. Yeah, so the key takeaway is if you don't have a Genius NFT booster or ultimate pack, buy it now. It's majorly discounted. The pricing hasn't been updated, so to say, or the amount of Genius that is required has not been updated. And yeah, this is what it looks like. You go to the NFT section. If you see a little sad face that says you do not have any NFTs, like not even one, then you're not going to get the free booster pack when you launch this app and convert version 1 to version 2. All right. But in regards to OpenSea, here's how to buy from OpenSea. One, you go to their website, OpenSea.io, search for Genius Collectibles. Something like this is going to pop up when you search Genius Collectibles. You'll see this Eagleon's face thing. You'll see the version next to it. And really all the version means is that this is for multiple different networks, platforms. Like the first one's Binance, then Ethereum, etc. I don't believe Pulse Chain's on there on OpenSea. The next thing you want to do, is, well, when you select one of these, you want to make sure that the collection address, it starts with 001 and ends with a bunch of 4s. Because people can, they can make a collection and pretend that it's the Genius collection just to get your hard-earned money. And if you're really concerned about that, here's the entire contract address for version 1 Genius NFTs for the first edition. Once you're there, select the Genius NFT that you like, press the make offer button, and finally, you want to tell everybody in the Genius Telegram group about that. Because people may not know, they may not realize, oh, somebody's willing to pay me for this? Cool, all right. In that Telegram room, you can access it by going to your web browser and do t.me/GeniCrypto. Likewise, in Telegram, just search Geni Crypto. All right. That concludes this part of the video series. Next, we have coming up about Genius Day 200. Just a quick review on that, what happens on those special days, then back into the Genius DAO, and then a new chapter after there. That new chapter, or the next chapter, chapter 4, it's about what to do now, like things to do now, besides prepare and get a Genius NFT pack, or to make sure that you have a Genius NFT so that you can convert to version 2 and get your free pack. But the next section, the next area, well, I'll give you a review on that beforehand, but it's information that you're going to want to know, especially if you're a Genius user and you're in the Genius community. The more you know, the more you're able to really tackle opportunity, find revenue opportunities, and make the best out of Genius. All right, well, yeah, thank you.